training, it's real important. It's one of the most important factors. I want to turn this down a little bit. Vacuum their vacuum cleaner. Being consistent is extremely important because most of dog training is muscle memory. I'm clearing out this room. It's great because I can't be consistent making art in this room because there's no space. So that is the one area that I'm sort of consistent in, is that I can produce art real quick if need be, and I'm always like, I always have a 1-year plan, like a 2-3-year plan, and a 5-year plan. So I always have like this consistency. So I always have, what's up, Wolfpack? Haven't seen you in a while. I always have, somebody contacts me, I can put up a show. I can build a show even if it's not produced, I have it ready to go. So I'm very consistent with that. What I'm not consistent with is having money. That's what I'm not consistent with, because I'm too interested in making art. I figure, like in my life, life's short. You never know when it's going to end, so you might as well do what you like. The trick is being consistent and sticking with it. If you're just sort of like bouncing around all the time, that's not being consistent. Hang on, I'm gonna try and glue this while I'm sitting here talking to you guys. I broke something, moving some of the artwork out of this because it was too cold to like make these things in the garage, and there was too much stuff. The garage had to be cleaned out. Not the garage, but the barn. I could have made it on the porch, but there was stuff on the porch from the last show. So I was making stuff in here this summer, or this winter, and now I'm gonna finish it out in the barn. I broke this, like trying to get it. This one thing outside, this broke, which is no big deal. I was talking about this the other day. Like, I don't really bum out if I break something because I'm still alive, and if I break something, there's a chance that when I'm fixing it, that it'll change, and most of the time it's gonna always change for the better. So I don't ever really worry about it too much. Oh, I broke it, big deal. I think that's sort of like an old-fashioned attitude about art. I don't know, if it's a Van Gogh, certainly you want to keep it the same. Once I'm dead, somebody owns my shit, they're probably going to want to keep it the same, but I'm not around, so it'll have to be worked on, so it's never going to be the same. Do you know what I'm saying? So, stop, what would the term be? Hey, knock it off, Dick! But I want to talk about consistency in dog training. I'm got sort of a slow start this morning. And part of the slow start is, one, I have to get Lutzy's collar on, because without Lutzy's collar, Lutzy will not be consistent. And Lutzy's collar is needed for, that is not Lutzy. That is Gus, who is a big baby. Lutzy's collar is needed because Lutzy will make a lot of noise. And this just happens to dogs when they're young for whatever reason. They start making noise. They're not here. Gus wasn't here either. And sort of bratty behaviors are developed. So man, I'm just saying, most people shouldn't have dogs. I know it sounds rough, but it's sort of the truth. Like, most people shouldn't have dogs. It's, even if they like dogs or whatever, like, You don't know what kind of dog you're gonna get. You know, I mean, you get some high drive dog. It's a subspecies of the wolf. People are amazed. Somebody said to me the other day, they're like, my dog growled at me. I'm like, yeah, so? You've never seen that? Own a Chesapeake Bay. You might get growled at. There's certain breeds that are real pissy. Not a Labrador. If you had a Labrador that growled at you, I'd be like, oh, that's highly unusual. Okay? It's highly unusual. But some dogs are real high drive and just fucking pissy. When I was a kid, I remember a story about a hunter that had a Chessie, and that was back when e-collars were just coming about. I've heard other stories similar to this about Chesapeake Bay. It's like he used the e-collar and the dog like sort of chased him. Like, don't do that to me like that. Like, they're not stupid, you know? So, and remember that your dog is also really hardwired to sort of, to not sort of, but to be. Listen, there's a group of people that want to say that the dog isn't a pack animal. That's what they want to say, and they want to disguise things around it, like saying, well, it's really like a mother and a father, and then there's like, you know, siblings, and, you know, sort of describe it as a family, which you want to hear. I'm telling you, they're hardwired to be dominant. And if there's the most dominant dog in the area, let's say a wolf, then all other dogs are subordinate to the dominant dog. If that dog leaves the area for some reason, another dog is the dominant dog. So it'd be the male, and then it'd probably be the female. Now, if both the male and the female leave, and they leave a bunch of, like, beta dogs, you know, somebody's going to have to be calling the shots. That's just how it's going to be. Now, it might not be a knockdown, drag-out fight like you see with domestic dogs, because in the wild, you don't want a knockdown, drag-out fight, because just a little bit, you know, if like a tear of the skin or some tear of the ear can cause death. In the wild, you could get infected and die. So you're usually not seeing those like knockdown, drag-out fights in the wild. Like a wolf isn't going to like hold on to the other wolf until it fucking dies. That's not what goes on. That's something that we teach our domestic dogs to do. So the wolf doesn't do that. They want to chase the asshole out and banish it. That's different. And if it tries to come back in, the other dog, there it comes the asshole. I told you to get the fuck out of here. That's usually how it happens. If like a wolf kills another wolf, generally speaking, it's an older wolf that's going to kill some cubs, some pups, whatever you want to call them. There's like, say there's two sort of tribes or something, and they're smelling that there's puppies over there. They might go kill those puppies because it's a threat to their survival. You know, that means it's harder for them to get food. And this is a strange fact, but it's true, that one, the wolves gain weight in the winter, okay? They gain weight in the winter, and they lose in the summer. It's easier for them to feed in the winter, flat out. All right, but even stranger than that is that, and you should know this about your domestic dog. Remember, your domestic dog is a subspecies of the wolf. So, say if your dog gets diarrhea and you have it skip a meal, so what? Because a wolf will go up to 2 weeks without making a kill. 2 weeks without eating. Okay? So your domestic dog not to eat for a day because it has diarrhea and you want to fast it, it's really not a big deal. But the remote for Lutzy was dead. So I need this on Lutzy. He will wake up in the morning consistently too early, right, for me. So wake up about an hour too early, and it's annoying. But today he did sleep in right to the point where I like to get up, which is 8 o'clock, which is awesome to see that he's starting to get it. Now, so I woke up and I put the collar on him because if you don't, he has a tendency to be real whiny. Now, it might be because he sees the cats, or it might be just, I don't know, whatever. It's just bratty. But I don't want him to be bratty, and I don't want him to be whiny because nobody likes a whiner. So with consistency, I can use the collar and continue telling the dog to shut up. He's not high up on the collar. This is a dog that he responds real good at about 16, 17, 18, and it's coming down, so sometimes I'm even doing it much lower. So vibrate with him doesn't work real well right now, but a lot of times you can use the e-collar and use it in conjunction with, you can go vibrate, stimulate, and then all of a sudden the dog starts seeing the vibrate as, sort of like, okay, here comes the stimulant, I'm going to shut up. The stimulate doesn't have to be real high on most dogs. I've only seen 2 dogs where you have to dial it up to get the dog to shut up, and that was an Akita named Charlie, and the other dog was Merlin, who was here recently. That dog, he wasn't with me when he was a puppy, so I don't really know what transpired with Mer. I'm being honest, and I know that they had an e-collar. So if you have a tendency if you get a puppy and say everything's going great and you're working the dog, every day you're being real consistent with the dog, and say at about 4 months, this is for me. This is probably not you. So I'm being real consistent. About 4 months, I can start putting the e-collar on. I might not be using it, but the dog can do sit and down and whoa and everything. I can start conditioning it in with an e-collar real low, like a real low. But if you get an e-collar with, like, say, 5, 6, 7, 8-month-old dog, and you're already having behavioral issues, and you do one of these, like, well, I'm going to get the dog to quit barking or something, and you're zapping it up, you're going to make it so that the dog won't be able to use the collar low. You're sort of getting the dog used to that really high stimulation, where when they're young and not too much of a problem, you can just put that in the background as a negative. Now, I don't know if that's what happened with Murr. I don't. All I'm saying is, like, I've known 2 dogs that were super high. One, I know that because the dog went to a dog trainer who was one of those IACP dog trainers, and he was brought back. I'm not going to say his name. It's a Hispanic name in New York City. Is that a hint? I'm not going to say who it is. Maybe Rod. Oh, I won't do that. But anyway, so he brought the dog back saying, I can't get the dog to do anything. Right? I can't get the dog to do anything. And he hands it back to the owner. And he's showing the owner, like, see, we have that collar all the way up and your dog's refusing. I train the dog to do everything, but that's me. So you want to contact that idiot if you know who I'm talking about. That's your mistake. Just think, who would that be in New York City? Last name, Rod. Who would that be? I don't want to badmouth anybody. Yeah, I do. But that was like one of the most pathetic cases of, like, incompetence I've ever seen. No, it isn't Caesar. It was Brooklyn. It was New York City. It wasn't Caesar. Caesar he's not a dog trainer. This is a guy that calls himself a dog trainer. He's part of the IACP. But it's just horrible. How could you be a dog trainer and take the dog back to the owner saying, I'm sorry, I couldn't get your dog to do anything? Every dog that's come here learns the same shit. They can all do the same shit. So I don't know how how people are doing this, or whether, like, sending your dog to somebody that calls themselves a dog trainer. And instead of teaching the dog to heel, they teach the dog. Well, they don't teach the dog. What they do is they put an head collar on the dog, and a head collar is the same thing as a like a halter on a horse. So you put a head collar on a Rob Crawford. Any ideas on what? You put a head collar on a dog, and what you're doing is you're not training the dog to heel. It's a management tool. So it's the same principle as putting a halter on a horse. In other words, if you want to turn the horse's head, you can. It's real easy, right? So it's the same principle in that it's like physics. The dog's going forward, right? You have the leash, and the leash gets tight. It turns the dog's head and sort of stops it. But you're not training the dog to heel. Why would you pay for this? Why are people paying for that? I don't know. But it's outrageous. There's a lot of people making a lot of money doing that shit. But there's a lot of people like me too that would be embarrassed to be putting a head collar on a dog. You're putting a head collar on a dog, you're pretty much saying that you don't know what you're doing. And anybody that's doing that, they shouldn't be calling themselves a dog trainer for sure. That's just the way it is. I'm sorry if I'm bumming you out, if I'm telling you that your hero is like horrible. I mean, listen, you shouldn't be looking for a dog trainer that what would be the term? I've talked about this before. Sales back. There's a dog trainer in Brooklyn. She's a purely positive food trainer. She only works with puppies and small dogs. She will not work with a Rottweiler, German Shepherd. She won't do it. And if your dog has any type of behavioral issue that has to do any type, especially aggression, she's going to tell you flat out. I already heard people tell me exactly what she says. She says, well, we don't deal with that type of problem. And they don't deal with that type of problem for a reason, because they can't. And the thing of it is like if you talk to this woman, she's sort of entertaining, right? She has, charisma. She's entertaining. She's got a lot of stories. She worked as a sex therapist, but not the kind that you need a degree. So, and that's something else that's real. I don't care if somebody works in the sex industry. I don't care. I just find it weird that like there's a lot of people that go into, after working in the sex industry, instead of like going into dog training that would be helpful, they go into the kind that scams people. Like, it's easy. It's easier. You just have a piece of food and, the dog will respond. The only problem is the dog responds negatively, meaning like if once it sees the food, it starts offering behaviors, it starts spinning around. That is not a trained dog. That's not trained. That's horrible. So you see that a lot. So those dogs would be an example of not being consistent at all, because you have to keep repeating the command, or how, get lucky and they do it right. That's absurd. So that's an example of like going to somebody that's very inconsistent, and you're going to them strictly because like somebody told you, oh yeah, she's great, she's real nice. Now you could say, well, hey, Peter's not a nice guy. That's fine. Think whatever you want about me. I don't give a shit. But that is not the reason that you want to be looking for a dog trainer, because you like their personality. You should like the fact that they can get the dog compliant, right? And teach the dog to do stuff that you can't teach your dog to do. That's it. Well, I fell out of this. trying to glue his. This this broke, right? But I don't know what happened to it. So then I made another one. So I made it out of wood, and then when I was moving this broke. But I think I can knock it off. You're next. I think I can just do this. It'll be fine. With other people and dogs, they haven't. My dog was bitten. Yeah, dogs will bite other dogs for sure. Now, I don't see that as much of a problem as a dog biting a human for sure. If your dog's bit another human, or bit a human, you got serious issues. So don't let that happen. And, you see things in dogs before they bite. They bark, lunge, growl, or just don't listen. That's like the point of excitement. So they're going to display all those, so just be careful. And a lot of dogs are going to have more of a tendency to growl, for sure, or to lunge. Some dogs require more training. Some dogs you cannot be just like, you can't be passive, right? You shouldn't be passive. With most dogs, with most of the things you're teaching the dog to do, you shouldn't be passive. Some of it you train passively, like weave pulls. I train passively at first until it becomes sort of, no, you have to do it right. A lot of it's passive. If I'm shaping something, if the dog is like doing the woe position, I might just be like, if it's standing there in the woe position, I might be like, whoa, whoa, and start shaping that behavior. That's passive. Housebreaking is totally passive. Absolutely. Don't ever rub the dog's nose in it. Don't ever smack the dog. Housebreaking, this is from an obedience trainer. Never, ever say a fucking thing if your dog goes to the bathroom in the house. You screwed up. Don't spank the dog. Don't rub the dog's nose in it. You need to take the dog out more. That's it. That's it. Yeah, no food dog training. It's not really passive, okay? Because you're congratulating the dog. You are using positive shit. No, I don't, Rob. Agree with positive reinforcement? Yeah, I agree that dogs need positive reinforcement, yes. But if you're talking about purely positive dog training, no, I don't. Of course, I'll use positive and negative reinforcement. Yes. I'm a balanced trainer. What are you talking about, man? Since you've gotten here, you've said nothing but like stuff that doesn't make sense. There's Craig. Any ideas? And then you write, do you agree with positive reinforcement with a dog? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I do. Who wouldn't? I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm just irritated that somebody would even ask that. No, only be negative to the dog. No, a balanced trainer uses both positive and negative. That is operant conditioning, okay? That's operant conditioning. The positive portion, the negative portion, and the alleviation of both, okay? Right? That's operant conditioning. Purely positive dog training, they say, is scientifically based, but it's not, because operant conditioning is both the positive and the negative and the alleviation of both. It's not just about the positive. So anytime anybody writes something like this, do you believe in positive reinforcement? I just, either it's a setup or it's like somebody that does, it's just nonsense. Sorry, Rob. But with that said, let's talk about being positive with the dog. Let's not do this quadrants thing. I hate hearing that. It reminds me of the fucktard. But don't worry about it, Toxic. You don't remind me of that person at all. What were we gonna talk about? I forgot. I got sidetracked with this quadrants bullshit. I don't know. She was mad at me throwing her dog off mine and kneeing it to keep it away from my dogs. Screw her. What are you going to do? You have to protect your dogs, right? You know? I was going to talk about positive reinforcement. I'm sure I had some fucking tangent about it. But positive reinforcement, always remember your positive and your negative reinforcement happens at 1.3 seconds. If you do it at 3 or 4 seconds, you're wasting your time. So if you got to correct the dog, it's right then. If you're going to get positive reinforcement, it's right then. All right? That's real important. But your positive reinforcement, using food is a fool's game. It is, because even if you have the food in your hand, the dog sees it, it excites the mind, right? So what you do is you give them the food and you reinforce that excitement. Now, using a clicker is absurd. So anytime you see a dog trainer using a clicker, know that it's an idiot that's trying to sell you something. There's no reason, like, oh, you can't say good or yes, you have to use a clicker. Give me a fucking break, all right? And the whole notion of like you're supposed to load the clicker. Loading the clicker is just pumping food in the dog and going click, 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 right? So they get that association with the click being something positive. It's nonsense. But even worse than that, it's like you always see the positive reinforcement. They never put that stupid fanny pack down. They constantly use food with the dog. And I see this, there's a well-known dog trainer. It's this big dude. I'm not going to say his name. I don't want to give him anything positive because he's a joke. And I'll see him with his own dogs, like that are old, that are like giving them food. Balanced training just means you're using, positive and negative, okay? So there's a lot of balanced trainers that are just ridiculous with the food. I asked one dog trainer, she was in Chicago, and there's a funny story about that, but I'm not going to tell it. And just a ridiculous person. Just that's what the story would be about, the person being ridiculous. But I don't want to badmouth him because somebody might figure out who it is. Now, I said, why are you all... She had like 3 dogs. 2 Malinois and a German Shepherd, something like that. I'm like, why are you always using treats? You're a balanced trainer. Why are you always... Because I think they're happier when I do. Oh, okay. If you're always going to get sucked into that, using the treats, you're never going to be able to put that fanny pack down. You're going to train the dogs to be, really excited around food. Peter, when would you use food? I think I've only seen you use food to lure a pup through the weed. I don't even use food for the weed poles. You are incorrect. The only time that I've ever used food and would use food is sometimes I've used it to lure a puppy in the down position. That's it. But that's very rare that I do that, and I'll do that one session, maybe a second session, and then I stop. That's it. That's the only time I use food. And I generally don't even use it for that. That's not even needed. So if you start like just putting the puppy in a position like sit, by saying sit and pushing its ass down and up with the leash, they start getting it. You say sit, you're using less pressure, no pressure, like that. But keep in mind, if you're using if you're working with a puppy, their necks have no muscle around them, and their trach's real soft. So when you're working with a puppy and you're using a leash, you have to use a big, fat, wide leather collar because you don't want to hurt their trach. Okay? So you use like a leather collar that would be appropriate for an adult, but then you cut it down. You cut it down and put more holes in it so it fits. It's very important. But you just start you're not shaping the behavior because you're putting the dog into that position while saying the word. You say the command. I shouldn't even use the term word, but you say the command, and then by putting the dog in the position and start picking up on it. So, um, I don't use food, like zero. I don't know. I can't remember the last time that I used food to lure a dog in the down position. I can't remember. It's been that long. It's been a few years. Um, Maybe I've used it for a video, maybe on Tracer or so. I don't know. Just so people could see it being done. The only problem is that if you tell somebody, yeah, you could do this for one set, they don't. They just keep going. Like the dog's going to get better at it. The dog gets worse at it. So food is like such a negative for dogs. It is. It's such a joke. Um, the pigeon lady's lurking. Okay, all right. I got this back together pretty much. I got to fix this snout here. Hang on. Yeah, let's put this on this. Now to fix its... Is it Easter today? Really? Get out of here. No, it's not. Stop making stuff up. Is it? Is this the day Jesus was put on the cross or some shit? Yeah. So Friday was Good Friday, or was that last week? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna see that hole. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put crazy glue in it, and then I'm gonna sprinkle baking soda to fill it. Now you could use other stuff, but the thing about baking soda that's real good is it helps it set up real fast. I found out recently that they make a product that you can spray. When he died on the cross for our sins and was reason. Oh, thank you, Toxic. Toxic is a good Christian woman. Toxic, aren't you Baptist or something? Is that, and then what, aren't you Baptist? I'm a minister. How could I not even know it was, I think Ramadan's this week. Isn't Ramadan around Easter? I had a friend who was Muslim. I really liked talking to her. She's very interesting. Brilliant woman. Worked over at the Tops, Nazneen. She's one of the people I miss from Brooklyn. Very enjoyable to talk to. Bangladeshi. That's the only thing I miss about Brooklyn is some of the people. My friend Rob. What a guy, man. Character. He's so funny. He liked that big round ass. He did. H&R appointment. Oh, is that right? Is that about Butch? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying? I'm missing some of the stuff because I'm not talking. Craig, is that what you're saying? Is that about you skipping town or something? Is it? Hey! So now, no, I gotta oh, okay. That was about Butch. I wish. No, I got a tax appointment. Why are you going to, oh, H&R Block. I see. Really? That's who does your taxes? Oh, I bet yours is. Mine's not as complicated. I used to think I couldn't do it, and then mine's so uncomplicated, I can do it. Like, I would have, this friend of mine helped me for years, because I'm like, fuck. I look at a piece of paper, and I'm like, I don't know. You know? I'd be like, and then she had what was it? Some kind of dead animal in our yard. It might have been a dead cat, right? I made a mistake of making gains in the stock market this year. That's what screwed me. Well, I won't really screw you because you did make money. Um, it's only scary if you make enough money where they can come after you, you know, so. Not in my tax bracket, it's not that scary. What could they get anyway if I made a mistake? I just, all right, whatever. How much do I owe you? $100, you know? I don't owe them any money. I reinvested those oh, I see. Yeah. There was years I always wanted to hold, which I made a mistake doing that. Don't ever be like, I'm going to hold it. That's greedy, and I lost a lot of money doing that. Where if I would have sold, I felt sick. Every time I looked at my portfolio, I'd be like, oh my God, I had this like sickness in my stomach. Every morning I wake up, and each day it went down. So fucked up, man. Sure. The way things are going, I doubt I'll ever have money again. But as long as I can survive and make art, I don't really care. I'd rather not have to worry about my fucking car. I'd rather be in a position, but it's all right. Things could be worse, right? Like they say, if you have your health, you have everything. I probably don't owe, but the annoyance of taking time out of my day to file. Yeah, it's a bummer, right? I gotta, hang on. What do you want? Speaking of consistency, let me go deal with this tea bag. But where did I put your thing? Because I can't have you do. Oh, here it is. So I gotta go do something. I'll be right back. So I take this with me because he's a whiny baby. So, well, I'll tell you though, man, walking in here with, like if I put him in sit or something over there and the cat walked by him, he's not going after the cat. He's not charging the duck or anything. He's not doing anything like that. My taxes are digital, absolutely. I can fill mine out in about 15 or 20 minutes. Mine are digital, yes. Not a problem. Real simple. I got more peanut cups and I'm going to put them in caramel brownie mix. Okay, Toxic. All right. I've been eating shit lately and that's gonna stop. I even ate a piece of candy last night. Yes, but IRS scares me. Well, you probably make enough that it should scare you, right? I get it. Yeah. I bet it's terrifying, to tell you the truth. It sucks, man. It sucks. Like, they'll go back 7 years or something. If you make a decent living, maybe you screwed up and then, I get it. That must blow. Like the more money you make, the more freaked out you would be about the IRS, for sure. 9% of Americans have to pay to get them done. It's not that hard. It freaks people out, I'll tell you that. But I'm not so sure that taking it somewhere that they can't make a mistake too. You're still responsible. That's how I come to the conclusion. Like, I'm like, fuck, like, my friend owns a business and she's been doing hers for years, but what she always does, so she always takes a loss, right? She's the one that, if you have a business and you can keep taking a loss, so you don't actually make that much money, you just make enough money to survive on. Now you still have to figure it out in your taxes and everything, but that's what she does. And I think if you're always putting your money back into your business, right? But if you work for a company and you work for another company, I think that's where it gets more difficult. Like if you work for a company and you make 200 grand a year. That would scare me with the, with the IRS. I see how that would be fucking freaky. I believe this. They like to make you fear so they can sell tax companies. That's one of those businesses that's based on fear. Absolutely. You see that with commercials. Like there's a lot of commercials about, contact us so this bad shit doesn't happen. You know. That's another thing. If you do have tax problems, this is the truth. You do not have to call a company. You don't. You don't have to call one of these companies and say, call us. You know what you do? You call the IRS and you sit down and meet with them. That's it. You answer their questions. They're not going to try and screw you. They're going to try and do the best that they can for you. And then they will give you let's work this out. They don't want you in jail because they put you in jail. They don't make any money. But that's it. You don't have to take a lawyer with you. Just go talk to them, and they're going to audit you and figure out exactly where you screwed up and how much you owe, and they're going to work out a plan with you. That's it. There's no reason to really be freaked out. There is no tax jail anymore unless you're Donald Trump. Something like that. Serious problems. But there's no debtor's prison. They just chase you. You can go to jail for fraud. One of the biggest things that they'll put you in jail for is like lying on. Say you want to borrow money, right? Don't screw up on that. That's where you could go to jail. So that's what I understand now. I learned that from watching stuff about Trump. You can go to jail for that. So when Trump was filling out taxes and he was lying about how much stuff is worth, that is against the law. There's knowing, how much it's worth and then you lie on it, you're in trouble. That you can go to jail for. A mistake or, leaving something off. That's totally different. Even if you were filling out, say it was a bank thing and you're supposed to put what your assets are, right? Your assets would probably be your house, if your car was paid off, so you add that up, but then you added in something that probably didn't count, but you thought that was your assets. That wouldn't be really like a reason for you to go to jail. Do you know what I'm saying? Like if you were like, oh, I didn't realize I couldn't figure out what I thought all my furniture was worth or something, or like maybe a coins or stamp collection or something might be worth. I don't know. I'm not a tax lawyer. I don't know. But if you didn't know, shut up, Dick. Here's a fact. Here's a fact that a lot of people don't know about. The IRS will do your taxes for you. They will do your taxes for you. You don't even need to go to H&R Block. But they don't want more. They just want their share. That's what they want. But the IRS will do your taxes for you. But with that said, yeah, it's true. They will do your taxes for you. But the problem is that people are so freaked out, right? And now they're really short-handed at the IRS for some reason. I don't know what happened, but they're really short-handed. So if you were going to get a refund, it might take forever. That's another thing. From what I understand, is you do want to do it electronically if you're expecting a refund or anything. You don't really even have to be on time. Like, what's the deadline for this year? Is it April 15th? Because if it is, I'm late. Hey, knock it off. What was the deadline for taxes? Knowing my luck, I'm going to get audited. April 18th. Oh, well, maybe I'll do mine tonight. I was wondering about that. It's tomorrow. I'll go online and do mine. I'm gonna have to sit down and figure this shit out. That's why I just did mine today. I gotta do mine. Whatever. Mine's not gonna be that big of a deal. Mine's not gonna be that big of a deal. You can't be late though. It's not that big of a deal. It isn't. You can file an extension too. Wait, what? Wait, what? The 18th? You didn't know it was the 18th? Why what? Why wait? Oh, why wait? Yeah, I don't know. People put it off. I use Free Tax USA. It's a free tax federal and $15 for New York State. There you go. Why I waited so long. Oh, I see. Yeah. People put it off because it's a bummer. It's like, it is. It's a pain in the ass, man. It is. It's a total pain in the ass. Want to do it? Maybe we'll get another COVID relief check. I didn't get mine, but then I filed and I got mine. I think they're gonna do something. I don't know what, like maybe a tax rebate or something, like for gas or something. I don't know. Maybe they won't. Who knows? See, this is setting up, and then I'll sand it down smooth, give it a better paint job until it's totally sanded up. They will give it to you with return if you didn't get it. Oh, I already got mine. I got mine last year. They're not doing it again. They're not going to do another COVID relief. I was just thinking that we're going to do something else since things are so shitty, you know. You tell me that it's not. Oh, that's screwed on. Nobody's spending money, man. I'm single. Make too much to get a COVID package. Oh, don't brag. I'm happy for you. Yeah, you don't seem like you're complaining about it, though. I remember this friend of mine, Jinian, man, she's like, I can't believe they sent me this. Like, oh, I know what it was. It was a refund. She got a refund for like $75 or something. Like, why are they giving me this? Something like that. There's a lot of people like that. Like they wanna pay more than enough or something. Like they wanna pay their fair share. Married people were celebrating. Oh yeah, they got a lot. Even the kids got shit, right? Quiet, douche. Oh, you were calling foul? You didn't get anything, really? They gave you nothing? It's a rip. I need some more baking soda. Not a penny in any form. Wow. All right, Richie Rich. Just kidding. Say one thing, Craig. I know you weren't from Ladue. You worked your way to get to where you are. It's impressive. You're a working guy. So like, man, I knew kids that like I went to Clayton, man. There were kids that were like fucking loaded because their parents are loaded, so then they're fucking loaded now. You know? Never had to do a damn thing in their life. Think about this one kid. What a dick. He was a fucking asshole. He was an asshole. Hey, just because your parents are wealthy or something doesn't mean you're gonna be an asshole. That is a fact. This kid was. He's a dick. It's the truth. Just because somebody is born with money or has money doesn't mean that they're a dick. That's a fact. There's sort of that misconception. I hear that a lot. And I'm just like, that's so wrong. That's not right. Look at Bill Gates. He is not a dick. He is not. I don't know who started that rumor. He had a good idea. He made money. That doesn't mean he's an asshole. It's just a fact. Doesn't mean that he doesn't care. Clearly, it looks like he does to me. I don't know what that is. Like, just because somebody has money, you know? It's the truth. I see that all the time. There are a lot of kids that I went to school with that were fucking awesome, whose parents had money. They cared about shit. Hey, stop that bullshit, dude. I like his eye. Growing up in Clayton was weird. I was like the poor kid. My mom wanted, when we were in Kirkwood and we were moving, she wanted to move to Clayton because of the school district. That wasn't for me. It was for my little brother. I think I was past the point of helping at that point. I'm sure that's the way my mother looked at it. Shut up, douche. But I will say this about that school district is like there was nobody got picked on. Talked about this before. Like that was not anything that would have happened. So I really consider myself lucky. Not that I would have gotten picked on someplace else, but just being in that kind of environment was sort of nice. There was no like cliques. Like there was, but everybody would hang out with everybody else. Like if you were at a party, man, you'd be talking to whoever. Could have been somebody that hung out in the smoking lounge. You could smoke cigarettes in high school. Wanted to go to Maplewood. Wanted to go to Maplewood with my friends. I had friends that went to Clayton High, but my good friends, but one went to Chaminade, and the other went to Priory, and then he dropped out of Priory. So he was a terrible student, and he didn't want to fucking work as hard, and he went to Clayton, and he said, God, it's fucking easy. But my two best friends were Catholic, and so I hung out with them. But I had friends. I had a good friend that went to school my brother went to. I had good friends that were at Clayton. You know, it was interesting. Like a lot of, hey, knock that fucking bullshit off. Craig, what did your parents do? What did they do for a living? My mom worked for the Kidney Foundation, and my dad worked for Pittsburgh Paint. He's not the CEO, I'll tell you that. My friend, City Catholic school on Hampton. You went to a Catholic school? Or you had that option? You're Catholic, right? I know Hampton. When my dad lived down there on Hampton, Laclede Station Road. Right when he got divorced, he moved into like this apartment complex. Oh, you went Catholic. What did your parents do? I'm just curious. You don't have to tell me. This is all back St. Michael's at Shrewsbury. Man, for some reason that rings a bell, man. Maybe my dad went there as like a little kid or something. I know that. I've heard of that. I know Shrewsbury. That's where my dad's. That's where my dad was living when he got divorced. I know that area. So there's that Taco Bell. The cops busted me in when I was in 8th grade driving my dad's car. It's like at the corner of like Hampton and Laclede Station Road or something. At Taco Bell, that's where the cop pulled behind me. I know I was in trouble. My dad had to come pick me up at the Shrewsbury police station, which was this little tiny thing. This little tiny fucking police station. It's hard to even believe it was a police station. I'm coming, douche. Alright, this thing will hold together. I'll spray the back of it so it isn't as obviously fucked up. Nobody can see the back of this anyway. I gotta put a collar on cause. Yeah, oh, you know that tiny police station? Oh, did you have to go there too? I was in 8th grade. I was driving my dad's Gran Torino, I think. It's my dad's fault. He taught me to drive when I was like in God. I was young, man. I wouldn't have been doing that. It said that was my dad's idea. Like, it's better. It was creative, you know. Like, I'll just have my sober son drive me, even though he's in grade school. Only on a field trip. I was a good Catholic boy. Oh, really? Okay. Hang on, Dick. I know a lot of you good Catholic boys. But I tell you that those kids that, what was it? That Catholic school on Clayton Road. It's not, it was that other one. Man, those kids always wanted to fight. Yep, I'm great. Guy, ask my parole officer. There you go. There was like, wasn't Chaminade was out there on like off of Manchester or something? Wasn't that school? There was another all boys Catholic school. Had a few friends in there that lived in Clayton. I keep thinking it was almost had a military name or something, but God, what was that? Man, those guys always wanted to fight. It's like you go to one of those parties, man. There was always somebody fighting. I saw that a lot with was it military? CBC. Thank you. How did Indiana Lauren know you were gonna write CBC? Oh, CDC? No. Craig was right. You're not from St. Louis, are you? Craig is. I am. Yeah. CBC. Yeah. Christian Brothers. Yep, that's it. Man, those fuckers always wanted to fight. Boy, they treated women like shit, or girls like shit, too. Not all of them, I'm sure, but... Man, I just hear these outrageous stories. As a kid, you know. Really? I went to Baptist private school. I believe that. The uniforms were horrible. Oh, you loved it, and you know it. My brother went to, oh, you know this. You know this, yeah. Catholic boys. I'm not talking about Chris and Dave, my friends. I'm talking about some peripheral friends that we'd hang out occasionally, but, like, God damn, man, some of those stories were just like, oh, you came in confused. You know, just, you know this. There was this whole, like, sort of mentality of, like, we liked the uniforms. Yeah, they were a hit, right? Like Villa Duchesne, St. Joe's, you know those schools, right, Craig? You know those. There was also that one, St. Joe's, Villa Duchesne, and then there's that one sort of in South County. I can't remember. I hated it. Nothing worse than stockings. Oh, you love stockings. You're probably walking around in that uniform right now. Come on, pumpkin, let's go down to the tennis courts. Guys are checking you out. Woo, toxic. Right? Toxic. Toxic. Nope. I refuse to wear a dress to this day. Good girl. All right, toxic. When did you say I'm not wearing a dress anymore? How old were you? When was the last dress you wore? She loves Crocs. Toxic loves Crocs. Those are her favorite shoes. True. I put Destiny's on, and they're too small. 12. But I could tell like those are probably comfortable, right? I put them on to like go downstairs at night. Crocs are ugly but comfortable. I believe you. I sort of got that. Like they're made out of like this weird like foamy shit. Like I could see how they would be comfortable. I'm not gonna wear them though. That'd be like me wearing Birkenstocks, and I've been told to get those. You know, they have ones that aren't so Birkenstock looking, but I just can't do it, man. I am just not. You know, Crocs are great for wet areas. Get the. Oh, you mean because it's like wearing like you could walk into a creek, right? But you wouldn't want to wear them when it's cold, right? But I've been told that about. Hang on, let me go deal with this. I'm really getting a slow start. I hated them, but after my shoes kept falling apart. Huh. I wear them like slippers. I'll tell you what I found is the best shoe for me is these Merrell shoes. De- yeah, there's holes. Right, it's a water shoe. These things, I can get them on Amazon for $50, and they last much longer, and they don't start stinking like the $20 shoes that I'd buy at Walmart. They have similar type shoes at Walmart. They're slip-ons, but they're leather. They're all leather, but the rubber falls apart. It's like 30 days, and it starts falling apart. I'll be right back. Hang on, Dick. Craig. Craig. What was the Craig, what was the name of that bar that was in U City? That there was a bar in U City, right? And you'd go down it was in the basement, and there'd be bands over there. Do you remember the name of that bar? Do you know what I'm talking about? It was a bar that had bands down in the basement. What was the name of that place? Do you have any idea what that was? I don't know why that just popped in my head because I was thinking about that restaurant Telena's or Telena's, something like that. They had great pizza and a really great salad. Over there in U City, where there's like that sort of shopping area, like they'd have a head shop, and it doesn't ring a bell. Did you ever go in that area? Like there was like a movie theater over there where the Rocky Horror Picture Show was always playing for like years. It's the only thing they played. Telena's was great. They had a they had a real good the Loop. Yeah, that's it. They had a real good they had real good pizza and they had a great salad. That's the thing about St. Louis is it has like this cuisine. People don't know this, but St. Louis has like its own cuisine, like toasted ravioli, shit like that. But their pizza is sort of unique. It's not. It's not like. It's not deep dish. It's not that. It's like it's sort of unique. It's not really like New York pizza, but it's sort of, but not the same. Like that Emo's pizza is just like Blueberry Hill. Thank you. Yeah, Blueberry Hill. Thank you. That's it. That was it. That was it. Yeah. God damn. That's, that is so weird that you know all those places. I worked at this as a bouncer at this bar named Harpo's down on the Landing. Did you ever go to that thing? That was ridiculous. It was fucking ridiculous. It was like a bunch of college kids getting wasted. The Landing. I could not picture myself going in any place like that nowadays, and I know places like that still exist. Harpo's was like some place that I think existed first, University of Missouri in Columbia, and then they opened up something down on the Landing. A friend of mine got a job there, that was on the wrestling team, and then he got me a job there. So I was like, yeah, I'll do it. It was sort of a fun job. Got to drink. I was a bouncer in Soulard. No shit. So we know a lot of the same. We had the same stomping grounds. Harpo's was unusual in that, like, usually they want, like, you're a big dude, they want a big guy, but Harpo's would like put more than one person at the door. It was sort of a fun job, but. I don't know. It's also sort of I wouldn't do it now. I've been a bouncer. I hate working at the clubs. Okay, PL. All right. Didn't you have a club or something like that? I named a pigeon at PL's job Moochie the other day. I went to Boomer's 3 a.m. bar on the Landing. Boomers, yes. Yes, I remember Boomers. I'd go there too. I remember, the last time that I was there, we saw some kind of, God, who was it? I'm thinking it was Brian Setz, maybe the Stray Cats. Like, it was one of those, well, Boomers was like one of those bars where they could get bands in there that were like sort of well known. It was big enough. It wasn't like Blueberry Hill. It had to be that Blueberry Hill was like small local bands, but Boomers would have like bigger bands. Like I think we saw Jonathan Richman there in the Modern Lovers. God, that was so long ago. That's back when I was thinking about getting a pompadour, which I didn't. There's no way. I'm just not that fashionable. Even back then, I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. Thought for a split second, yeah, let me get a haircut. I'll get a pompadour. No, it was being Timbers, Mississippi Nights had George Thorogood. That's right, I remember that place too. Yeah. Fucking A, man. God, Craig. It's weird that you're from St. Louis. We're both there about the same time. We live close to each other too. Maplewood's right next door to Clayton. There were some kids, it was Maplewood, Richmond Heights, and Richmond Heights, I think, kids could go to Clayton, too, if I'm not mistaken. So they could go to Maplewood or Clayton, something like that. I remember wrestling this kid from Maplewood. I can't remember his name. Um, I may this I just got yesterday, and I'm trying it. It's 300 milligrams of caffeine. B3, B6, and B12. Branched chain amino acids, electrolytes, NaK, salt, K, and Mg, magnesium, K. What's K? I don't know. Increased concentration. Yeah, zero sugar. My gummy bear. That's potassium, thank you. Oh, you're potassium, you're not sure. I don't know either. Is sweetener aspartame? I don't know. It's not real sweet. A lot of times they're using like sugar alcohols now, which might be aspartame, I don't know. Caffeine's about 5th on the list. I don't see it. Oh yeah, it's an alcohol sugar or sugar alcohol because I see uh, sucralose. That's what that is. That's an alcohol sugar. That's why it has zero sugar, right? It has zero sugar. But let me tell you something about those. These will jack up your blood sugar. It fools your body. So, um, yeah, Bang, sure. It's got a better label than this. This label's only nice because it reminds me of the Transformers. You know, that is a ripoff from, who is that? Optimus Prime? What the fuck? Toxic. Thank you. A Coca-Cola girl, all the way. That was my favorite as a kid. We saw a Coca-Cola product the other day, and it looked like it was flat. Destiny noticed it, and I said, "Yeah, you're right. It looks flat." It was like real low sugar. It was sweetened with juice. It said it was Coca-Cola. It didn't have any flavor. It didn't say like this is vanilla flavor. But man, in the thing, it just looked flat. IRN and BRU. I don't know what you're talking about, English person. Sorry, I'm fixing my. I tried Coca-Cola. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Starlight. And how was it? I got tea upstairs that I should be drinking. Iron Brew, Peter. You said you hated it. Oh, Toxic is saying Starlight. Pretty good. Pretty good, says the sweet tea girl. Pretty good. So you liked it. All right. We'll take that. Take that as thumbs up from Hannah. What about Sarah? Have you tried it? Sarah. I like it more than the original Coca-Cola. Oh, really? I don't know how that could be possible. Oh, hi, Kaki. How you doing? Because the original Coca-Cola makes Pepsi taste like garbage. Hey, Craig, you know this. Like in St. Louis, for me, if I was good, everything was the Coke, right? Was that the same for you? Like, give me an orange Coke. I got to get a Coke. That didn't mean that I was going to get a Coke. I might get a 7 Up. Was that just me? We did not call it pop. Okay, pop was something that a country kid would call it. Like my friend Scott in college, he would call it pop. I got to get a pop. I'm like, what? You got to get a what? A pop? Okay, country boy. Old timers just said Coke. I've tried many things. I don't live under a rock, you know. Well, you do. You do a little bit. It's called Stonehenge, right? Come on, fish and chip. You guys live on fish and chips and pints of beer. Pretty much. I mean, I don't know. I've traveled. Oh, please. To where? Devonshire to get some cream? Dr. Pepper. I would drink Dr. Pepper. Yeah. Craig, do you remember when they were trying to, on TV, they were like trying to sell Dr. Pepper as like a hot drink in the winter? It's for like 1 or 2 summers. Didn't really last. Dr. Pepper is the only prune tasting soda, I believe. I think that's what it's supposed to be. Why are you reading a custard label, Peter? Why are you reading the custard label? I don't understand that. There is a pub inside a castle near where PL lives. Okay. All right. I can't believe I remember that. Yeah, and castles, right? You guys got a lot of castles. You want to go to McDonald's, it's inside a castle, right? PL? And check this out. You guys like to play croquet, right? Devonshire Cream is the company that makes custard. Okay. All right. Devonshire. Yes, I got a castle. We have White Castles, which is something different, right? That's a chain of, and they're not in a castle. Come to my castle. No, I'm afraid to go to the UK. People talk funny there. Custard donuts are the best. All right, Toxic. I hear ya. They are delicious. They are pretty good, aren't they? I like them. I like a honey glaze, though. I haven't had one in a long time. Castles with pickles. We had White Castles that we got and warmed up. I'll tell you what's real good with a glazed donut is you take it and you warm it up in the oven. Wow. You know. I've live streamed my castle. I'll have to go look. I didn't see that. I'll show you the 1700 style toilet. Okay. All right. Is it made out of like stone? 1700s, really. Interesting. You do that with any donut. Interesting. It's sandstone. It's a sandstone toilet. I'm sure it was state of the art back in its day. Did you use a litter box afterwards to, like, you know? Bavarian cream filled donuts are my favorite. Not bad. Not bad. Hole with a giant drop. I knew you were gonna say that. I knew you were gonna say that. And then what? Like they would have like a slave or something come out and like dig out the bottom of the pit. Like it just dropped down and then it was left there and then they would like that? Or was it like a well? Like that? A slave. They had them back in the day. It was cold and humid in your castle. Yeah, but it wasn't her castle. She wasn't living in the castle, were you? I know somebody that lived in a castle, though. It was in Italy. The door's missing, so the stairs I nearly died climbing up. Servants to wash your backside. Yeah, that's right. Don't show the castle at night, PL, after all you've said about it. Literally shit myself. Okay, all right. Is there a dungeon below? Or a lardin? Was there a lardin? That's my new word, which is a root cellar that is just in the kitchen. You just go down deep. Hillsby's possible new house has a lard in it. I had no idea what it was. There was something you made lard in. A lard in, yeah. Oh yeah, the castle at night. Weirdos come to bonk on the one. I don't understand. Was this like something that was turned into apartments and shit? You were living in that? Because that's what my friend in Italy was doing. It was like people owned sections of the castle, but supposedly like heating and everything was just sort of shitty because it was a castle. So it really wasn't heated well. No, like, central air. Were you living in this thing, PL? There's a McDonald's in it, though. No, it's a castle with a pub in it. I do own a section of the castle. In it, I do. Is that where your club was? Is that what you're saying? Is that when you had the club? You were there? Castle. Yeah, other than a fireplace in each room, keeping a castle warm would be a challenge. Yeah, you'd have to like put in some air ducts or something. It wouldn't be that hard. Probably cut some air ducts into it, and then you'd have to like cover the air ducts to make them look like they weren't there or something, but it could be done. I mean, even in this house, I thought about like, I don't know, they cut registers in the floor. You could do something. People suck, man. No, it's hometown castle. We all have a piece because they struggle to keep funding for. Oh, I see. Huh, that's interesting. Every year I'm supposed to go to a committee meeting, and you don't. But you might. You might, right? How big is it? Is it huge? Is it real big? Like, how many square feet do you think it is? PL has been telling our friend from Chicago, and I about to show about little kids in Japan bringing home groceries, and it's funny. It is. Quite big. Quite big. Cheerio. Cheerio. I've not measured it. LOL. Cheerio. Pip pip. Does anybody ever say, you remind me of Mary Poppins? Do they ever say that? Like, you sound just like Mary Poppins. Yes, the kids fall over carrying apples. Well, that'll teach them a lesson, won't it? You shouldn't be carrying apples, kids. That's an adult's job. They're making kids carry apples? What? I'm teaching my dog Rolo to pull a sled with groceries in it for me. Nobody has ever said that with me. Okay, Mary Poppins. You do sound a little bit like her. Hello. That's my imitation of PL. You want to hear my imitation of Toxic? Let me see if I can do it. Mom, I want some sweet tea. Give me some of that sweet tea. Me and Puddin' are going down to the tennis court. We're gonna play some paddle ball or whatever you call it down here in Alabama. I need some sweet tea. Pretty good, right? No, Mom, I don't drink that beer or smoke that marijuana, and I won't, 'cause I'm a good girl. I'm a Baptist girl. You know I don't do that, Mama. Mommy, Mama, whatever. Right? Pretty good. What else would Toxic say? I don't cuss unless I have to. Now give me my sweet tea and let me be on my way. Mama's real southern. Where's my mama? Mama, it's me, Toxic. Now, Toxic, have you ever had your mother call you Toxic Sheba? That would be great if she did. I say, don't touch my damn dog. I'm toxic. Come on now. Come on, don't be a fool. I'm toxic. Now give me my sweet tea and let me and my dog be on our way. She runs off the pot. I'm gonna run off the possums by saying, get now. They're fucking weird looking animals with their fucking beak and all that, and that tail, it looks like a rat. I don't like them possums around my house. That is weird animal. It's got a pocket in it. Now get on your way, little possum. I'm Toxic Sheba. Don't fuck with me and my dog. Pretty good, right? She doesn't curse unless she has to. Right, Toxic? No, I've heard Toxic's voice, and Toxic really doesn't have much of a southern accent. It's real weird. What's up with that? I don't have that much of a southern accent. I like possums. They're welcome in my... I like the possums. They're welcome in my yard. Cheerio, pip pip. My yard too, but we have hedgehogs. P.O. Toxic doesn't have much of a southern accent. It's sort of weird. How'd that happen? She's learning to speak like the northerners by watching TV. You don't have much of an accent. What is that? My mama never cursed. My dad would cuss when she wasn't around. My daddy would only curse when my mama wasn't around, because my daddy would get the switch to his backside. Peter, you know? Oh yeah, the sexy voice. I'm Tack. No, I'm PL. I'm from wherever. Not the switch to the backside. We don't do that here in the UK. Right? How's that queen doing? She doing pretty good? I guess she survived the COVID. COVID's popping up everywhere. Oh, you're growing your nails? I gotta go. See you, Craig. Right on with Budge. I love possums. They're cute, says Shirley Jones. They're cuter than a speckled pup. Oh, you like to bite and scratch? Oh my God. You're out of control. It makes sense that you would hang out with Toxic because she's a good girl. It's like Toxic's the angel and you're the devil. She's the devil. She's from the UK. And she likes whips and chains. Foxy is scared. Really? Your boyfriend's scared of you? Is that true? You've scared him. You've actually scared him. Hey. Let's get you out. Hang on. Alright, I gotta quit fucking around. I'll live stream in just a little bit. Seriously. I gotta quit fucking around. I'll live stream in a little bit, okay? Alright, I'll see you guys. I gotta go.